just come through Holyhead now. I was hoping to get a little bit further on the road before I stopped, but there's a little bit of a story to why I haven't got any further, and this is the reason. I suffer a lot with pains in my joints. In fact, I've got an illness, if you want to call it that, called fibromyalgia. It's quite a common illness, and so really it doesn't permit me to cycle in the winter time because the bad weather isn't really conducive to the ailment, if you want to call it an ailment. And so I tend to be a fair weather cyclist, and I choose my days. Well, I've been on the bicycle this year, obviously since Christmas, a few times, and I've covered just short of 100 miles. But this is the longest distance I've actually done in one go, down to Llangefni and back. It's 16 miles either way, so a 32-mile round trip. And so I must admit my bum's a little bit numb. Also, the road I'm travelling on, for reference, for anybody who wishes to come to the Isle of Anglesey to cycle, it's the 5190, and it goes from Holyhead down to Llangefni, and I believe it carries on from Llangefni. Once you get through Llangefni, the other side of Llangefni, and it takes you to a place called Menai Bridge, which is the last little town before you cross over the cross over the Menai Bridge, which is over the Menai Straits and onto the mainland of North Wales. The A5 in effect was the old London road. So if you go to the port of Holyhead, as soon as you come out of the port you hit the A5, and the sign right at the end, just as you're coming out of the port, says London Road, and it takes you all the way through Snowdonia, past Mount Snowdon. It takes you on all the back roads, all on the old A5, and eventually you can get to London. But back to the topic in question. Yes, this road that I'm on here, well, it's I'm actually facing that road now, is the 5190. It is a good road. It's a road I use quite a lot to get to a lot of the country lanes, and I shall be using this road on my next cycle trip when I go to a place called Linen Mill. Now, Linen Mill is a beautiful place. It's an old windmill. It's disused now, but it's open to tourists, and at the side of the windmill there's a cafe and gift shop, and then there's a large lawned area with picnic tables, so you can sit out there and enjoy a picnic in the sunshine. And then there's a fenced off area with a few attractions for little children, and one or two little sculptures made out of tree trunks. And so yes, that's going to be my next trip. If this goes on YouTube, all well and good. This is my very first upload, so obviously before it goes up I'm going to have to do a lot of editing. I'm just hoping my camera is going to last until I get to the Cobb, which goes across to Holyhead. So let's just hope the battery lasts long enough. This is a lesson for me: always make sure that my battery's charged up on my camera before I set off. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we've just come through the little village of Holyhead. We've clipped the edge of a little suburb called Valley, and now, as promised earlier, I thought I'd stop and show you the Cobb. This is the Cobb here. And I've been doing a lot of research, asking a lot of people. I couldn't find anything on the internet as to why it was called the Cobb. I've spoken to a lot of the local residents who have been born and bred in Holyhead. They didn't know why it was called the Cob, and it wasn't until a few days ago that I actually found an elderly gentleman who informed me that it was called the Cob basically because that's the name of the structure. The structure in Wales, or in North Wales, is called the Cob. Now if we swing round here, you got a fantastic view of the sea, and I think it might be a little bit too far away. Over there in the distance is a ferry. It belongs to Irish Ferries, and we get ferries here from Dublin, so we get the Irish ferries and we get the Stena ferries. And as I was cycling down a hilltop over in the distance there, I just happened to notice that there was a cruise ship had just come in. I don't think we're going to be able to see that today, but from time to time we do get cruise ships coming into the port of Holyhead as a stop-off point. But in the distance you'll probably see a chimney there. That used to belong to Anglesey Aluminiums, which no longer operates. It closed down a number of years ago. But you'll also see the woods. Those woods are called Penross Woods. It's a lovely little walk through the woods, and you can also follow the coastal path around the edge of the wood as well. Pretty little walk.